FAQ of Globe, Arizona on August 11, 2016. I've been a Verizon customer for over 20 years. A few months ago, I started getting alerts because my data was depleted. This is impossible. I use my phone for business, period. I have a smartphone but I never watch movies or download anything. The first guy I spoke to even admitted that I did not use the data. He said, "Wow, you don't use any data. We just don't know what has happened here. Maybe it's your phone." I had the phone checked out and there was nothing wrong with it, but I got a new one just in case. Same garbage. They are thieves. They promised me a credit of 80.00 after I had been on the phone with them for roughly 2 hours. They gave me a partial credit with a promise from them to pay the balance they owed me. They lie. They are liars. At one time, they had really good customer service, but now you can't even understand these people. No wonder they constantly have to get you into a contract. Otherwise they would not have any customers. They never paid me what they said they owe me. We need a class action lawsuit. I know one thing. I will never allow them to keep my credit card in their database. Deb of Queen Creek, Arizona on August 26, 2016. Been Verizon customer since 2000. Always buy my phone outright, pay for activation and get plan extended. They always have an excuse why we are not given the same discounted rate as initially. They always say my plan is outdated and they can't offer it anymore. Decided to purchase new phone March 2016. Lot of phone deals happening everywhere. The iPhone was offered by Verizon as $199.99 with 2-year contract renewal. No problem. I plan to continue same Verizon service, but wow, what a deal, iPhone 6s for $200. Some places offered free phones but I was staying with Verizon and beside, thought I could trust them after 16 years of service. They never tell you you are not getting an iPhone for $200. No, they are giving you $200 off services for a $650 for phone. And this is only if you buy from them. They don't tell you this when they're rushing all these plans in front of you and you need only the minimalist charges for a smartphone. You go in, say you want the $200 iPhone and the same plan, don't want to pay more. Oh, but we can't offer your plan anymore. But we have a plan that will save you $7 a month. Great deal, eh? Then I finally got someone to review the charges. When I checked out in Verizon store, they asked, "Do you want to pay for your phone now or put it on your monthly bill?" Well, I have automatic payments, so I thought I was paying for my phone up front, $200. Now, I finally understand my bill. They charge you 24 payments to recover their cost of the $650 phone and say access to phone is additional $20. So both charges are for the phone. Even though you have paid for the phone and the data plan, gotta pay for access. But had I paid up front for the phone elsewhere? The Verizon rep says no one gets a $200 iPhone. Not anywhere. The only deal I got was the access to the phone would have been $40 instead of $20. So, this phone is $650, 24 payments, plus monthly access 2 years $480 equals $1,130. Not adding in charges for service data plan for 2 years, talking only the phone charge. If I had purchased my phone elsewhere, they would have an activation charge. To an account that has been active since 2000, there would have been an access fee of $40 monthly, no reward for signing another 2-year plan. $960. And this is to pay them $960 for a phone you bought elsewhere. So I'm stuck with paying $1,130 for use of an iPhone for 2 years. But you can bet I will figure out where to go with my $1,130 iPhone in 2 years, where I can get a data plan without the hidden charges. How could I have been so dumb to think they would reward me for being a good customer for 16 years and buying through them? Hopefully someone can learn from my mistake. There are never any free or wow deals for phones. Nancy of Port St. Lucie, Florida on August 23, 2016. I called Verizon at the end of July regarding two issues. I've been a customer of Verizon for 10 plus years and I feel that I have been recently taken advantage of. I inquired about switching my bill to the beginning of the month and also about the extra data we were using, hence causing a $15 per gigabyte overage. It was suggested to switch to the safeguard to limit overages. It is now August 22nd and we have been on this safe mode for a month with no data outside of Wi-Fi, and one phone completely off of everything. Yet I'm still paying for the 30 gigabytes plan. I called last weekend and was told by the representative that she couldn't switch it so we could have some data, as she agreed that we shouldn't be without data for a whole month. My oldest son lives out of state and cannot access any apps including GPS to get to and from school an hour away from him. I tried calling to speak with someone to help me with actually getting what I am paying for, and held for 20 plus minutes. I pay $500 $650 per month for service which is not being provided to me. John of Harriman, Utah on August 15, 2016. When I began receiving text messages that we had gone over our data limit, I called Verizon to upgrade our data plan from 3 gigabytes to 4 gigabytes. The customer representative told me that she had made the change. However, when I went into my Verizon, the change had not been made. I called Verizon again to have the change made. This time I was transferred to a technician that actually did make the plan change for me. The technician noticed that the counters for our data usage were off and said that he would correct the problem and I would see the correction within an hour in my Verizon. I went back into my Verizon after an hour and no correction had been made. Even when I went back into my Verizon a few days later, the change did not appear for my data usage. So I called Verizon yet again, and after talking with two customer service representatives, learned that there were no notes taken by the technician to indicate the data counter discrepancy. I think it's ridiculous that I had to call Verizon multiple times to get anything done. I usually don't give negative criticism of companies, but after my experience with Verizon, I have to conclude that their customer service is either incompetent or dishonest. Joseph Skinner from Michigan on September 3, 2016. I have been with Verizon, it seems, all my adult life. They offered me an extra 1 gigabyte of data for $5 and now I'm going through my data like it's water. This is the kicker. Before I added the extra GB of data, I had only 1 gigabyte of data and never even came close to using it in a whole month. Now they say I have used 10% of not 1 gigabyte but 10% of 2 gigabytes of data in one day. It's time for Verizon to realize that all their loyal customer base cannot be wrong. It might be on them to make a change before we do.